Hey guys, Kickassreaction here, and we are back with some more Demon Slayer. We're ending Season 1 in this video, which is pretty cool. So as I've said, I don't think we're going to be encountering any more demons in this season. I feel like we are just kind of done with that right now. I know we still have 3 episodes to go, but unless we do just kind of get the time skip in this episode, I feel like we are pretty much just done. And I know for a shonen, like ending off on an episode that doesn't actually have a big battle scene is kind of ludicrous, but at the same time, it's like, it feels like we are done now. You know, the last enemy we did fight was a Kizuki member. It feels like a good spot to really stop, you know? And we have been introduced now by a whole plethora of new characters, the 9 Hashirai, you know? So, it is a lot to focus on, and there are a lot of characters to expand upon, so I'm kind of expecting this set to give us some more, just to spend some time on these new characters, you know, possibly learn more about why they are Demon Slayers, what's happened to them. Obviously, some of them have been hurt deeply by demons, you know. Some of them just seem completely incapable of forgiving or considering the idea of there being a good demon in general. So there is some interesting stuff to actually see and explore there. But, yeah, you know, that's pretty much all I'm really expecting in this one. Don't really have too many big expectations. I don't assume we're going to see Muzan. I don't assume we're going to see another of the 12 Kizuki. I assume it's just going to be more, you know, kind of mellowed out, possibly. But we'll see. So yeah, as I said, not a whole lot to say this time around. Last episode was great. Last set was great, actually. Seeing the trial of Nezuko and Tanjiro. Seeing, you know, the personalities briefly of the 9 Hashirai were pretty fun. And yeah, so let's continue on with episode 24.
Hmm? 校長か。
12気づきでしょうか。
おそらくな。上限かもしれん。
難しい任務のようですが。
I mean, if that actually happened, that would be kind of hype. Okay. Most of them seem to like each other, which is a good thing, obviously. But some of them are just wildly different in terms of personality. But it is cool to see that they all get along just fine enough, you know? Possibly they're all friends, which is nice. Fucking, that love girl just literally is in love with everyone and everything. So obviously there's no, like, hostility there with her. Alright then. Rehabilitation training. Cool. Wow. Wow, so pleasant and polite compared to Zenitsu. Yeah, we get it. Hashirai are scary. What up? To be fair, this one is actually scary, so you know. Makes sense. Zenitsu, do not look at her like that. Aww. Literally skipping 2 weeks. Hey, even bro! Inosuke getting that training. Nice. Yeah.
おかえり炭治郎伊之助。
They trained their bodies to death, and even that didn't beat them. That's why they're
何
Hashira.
があったの？どうしたのね？
ごめん。気にしないで。
Nice.
教えてくれよ。
それでは善一さんは今日から訓練参加ですので、改めてご説明させてもらいますね。まずあちら、寝たきりで硬くなった体をあの子たちがほぐします。
Oh, wow.
反射訓練。湯飲みの中には薬湯が入っています。お互いに薬湯を掛け合うのですが、湯飲みを持ち上げる前に相手から湯飲みを抑えられた場合は、はい、
Fuck!
もう一度
Now that's just cheating.
そこまで。最後は全身訓練です。端的に言えば鬼ごっこですね。私葵とあちらのカナオがお相手です。
Yeah, you're not meant to win this.
すみません。
Yeah, that's not like him at all. What the fuck? What the hell? Yeah. Bro. Okay! What on earth? Why is bro acting like a badass as, like, for some reason? Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Should have known. If there's one thing to make him act brave, it's a girl. Nice chests! Oh my fucking god. Joke's on you! I'm into that shit! What the hell? Oh my god.
私がお相手します。はじめ。
Holy crap.
俺は女の子にお茶をぶっかけたりしないぜ。
Oh my god. Why has he become like the biggest god of all time when he's fighting a chick? Fair. Okay, maybe this girl just isn't that good.
負け続けてずぶ濡れ。恥ずかしい。でも
Yeah,
カナオには勝てない。
she's actually
誰
unbeatable.
も彼女の湯飲みを抑えることはできないし。善逸も
Even Zenitsu's nuts.
カナオの髪の毛一本すら触れなかった。そして二人は訓練場に来なくなった。お疲れ様でした。
Jesus. You broke Zenitsu so badly that he stopped coming to girl training.
なんで俺は勝てないの
That's,
だろう。
that girl is
俺とあの
scary.
子の何が違う。まず反射速度が全然違うんだ。
She's been training with
俺
a
が万全の
Hashira.
状態でも
It's literally that
多分
simple.
負ける。匂いからしてまず違う。柱の人たちに近い匂いがする。あとは目か。目が違う。
Her eyes are massive.
炭治郎さん、大丈夫ですか？全集中の呼吸を四六時中やっておられますか？朝も昼も夜も寝ている間もずっと全集中の呼吸をしてますか？
やってないです。やったことないです。そんなことできるの？はい。全集中の呼吸は少し使うだけでもかなりきついんだが。
Yeah.
それを
But you get used to it around the clock. But think of how good you'll be if you've done that. Like, Giyu absolutely does that.
カナオさんです。
全集中の呼吸。朝も昼も夜も寝ている時もずっと続けてみると言ってみたけど。
So it truly becomes a part of you at that point.
全然できない。できない。
And at that point, you might not even know how to breathe otherwise.
死にそうになるよ。呼吸は肺だ。ちゃんとできないということは肺が貧弱なんだ。頑張れ。頑張ることしかできないんだから。ひょうたんを吹く？
そうです。 カナオさんに稽古をつけるとき、忍様はよくひょうたんを吹かせていました。
へえ、面白い訓練だね。音が鳴ったりするのかな。
いいえ、吹いてひょうたんを破裂させていました。
へえ。破裂？え、これを？この硬いの？
Bro, you've shattered a
この
boulder.
ひょうたんは特殊ですから、通常のひょうたんよりも硬いです。
そんな硬いのをあんな華奢な女の子が？
だんだんとひょうたんを
Is she
大きくしてい
petite
くみたい
compared
です。
to you? Or are you just
今
small?
カナオさんが破裂させているのはこのひょうたんです。
Oh, never mind then. That makes sense.
頑張ろう。
今日も休みです。
Again, you've shattered a boulder before. It's not out of the realm of
明日は連れて
possibility.
きます。すみません。鱗滝さんに叩き込まれた訓練を行いながら全集中の呼吸も続ける。山下りをイメージして屋敷の庭を駆け回る。今はゆっくり深く呼吸して指先まで空気を巡らせる。
Man, you might actually be a
瞑想
Hashira,
は集中
like,
力が上がるんだ。
during season 2 at
鱗
this
滝さん
rate.
もそう言ってた。
Getting this much training, though, from, like, the main base of the Demon Slayers is insane.
もうったな、俺の刀。
Oh, shit.
すみません。今刀を打ち直してもらってるけど。
もしもしもしもしもし。
はい。
頑張ってますね。
Hi!
お友達二人はどこかへ行ってしまったのに。一人で寂しくないですか？
いえ、できるようになったらやり方を教えてあげられるので。
君は心が綺麗ですね。
Only the purest.
禰豆子さんの存在は公認となりましたし、
What is she doing right
君
now?
たちは怪我もひどかったですしね。
It is night. It is time for her to wake up.
それから君には私の夢を託そうと思って。
Ooh.
夢？
そう、鬼と仲良くする夢です。きっと君ならできますから。
What an interesting dream. Is that why you joined just for that? It's a rather
怒ってますか？
interesting dream.
なんだかいつも怒ってる匂いがしていて、ずっと笑顔だけど。
Oof. It's just a mask.
そうですね。私はいつも怒っているかもしれない。鬼に最愛の姉を惨殺された時か
Ah.
ら、鬼に大切な人を奪われた人々の涙を見るたびに、絶望の叫びを聞くたびに、体の一番深いところにどうしようもない嫌悪感がある。私の姉も君のように優しい人だった。自分が死ぬ間際ですら鬼を憐れんでいました。
And that's why you
私はそんな
kind of
風
want
に
to
思え
keep
なかっ
her
た。
personality alive in
緊張しておい
you.
てかわいそう。そんなバカな話はないです。だけど少し疲れまして。鬼は嘘ばかり言う。自分の保身のため理性もなくし。炭治郎くん、頑張ってくださいね。どうか禰豆子さんを守り抜いてね。
For real.
自分の代わりに君が頑張ってくれている。
You're like the one speck of
私は
proof
安心する。
that your sister's dream can actually exist.
全集中の呼吸が止まってますよ。
母ちゃん、花子、竹雄。
Ah, those shots, my god.
ロクタ。
They were, even by the standards we're used to by now, still
禰
gruesome.
豆子を人間に戻してみせるから。
You didn't hold back in that in that first episode. Alright then. Wow, okay. So yeah, we did get, surprisingly, of all the characters, we actually got Shinobu's backstory, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, obviously her persona is is that a persona that, like, she wears a mask constantly to hide her true feelings, but it seems like with the right training you can actually detect those feelings, and that mask is pretty much worthless after a while. It's really cool though. So yeah, so her main goal is to get along with demons, which is interesting. Not because it's what she wants, but it's because it's what her sister would want, which is interesting. Obviously, there would be a fine balance between, you know, you gotta do what your sister would want and what you personally want, you know, and keeping that balance can definitely be hard. I'm curious if those feelings deep down that she knows are there are going to explode at one point, as bottling up your emotions, especially the negative ones, will blow up in your face at some point, you know. It might not happen right away. And it might not even happen anytime soon, given the, you know, the training techniques that she's learned from the demon slayers. But eventually, you know, that kind of training is gonna blow up in your face. You know, I'm honestly expecting right now if we get a Kizuki member, or if we get the demon that actually did the deed, then that's gonna blow up, you know, and that's probably gonna be a big point to go on later, which is gonna be interesting. But yeah, that's really cool to see. I do like how we are expanding on the Hashira right now. Very interesting that she was the first one, but she is by far the most intimidating, and it does make sense why she is trying to help as many people as she can. Why she does feel that she wants to, you know, help demons, or even people that fall prey to demons, you know, like Zenitsu and whatnot. And why she pretty much, you know, is in kind of the medical field. Not the medical field, but... Alright, I got interrupted there. But, yeah, like I said, it is interesting. Like I said, I'm eventually, you know, holding a mask for so long is going to blow up in Shinobu's face, and I'm curious to see when that's gonna happen. Most likely, you know, the fact that the girl was killed confirms it probably wasn't Muzan, you know, and probably does confirm that, like, that demon is still out there, you know. So if we do get to the point where she encounters that demon, most likely that's when, you know, the bubbling anger deep down is going to blow up in her face, and I'm really curious to see that. But it is cool though. It does show that there are some multi-layers to some of these demon slayers, you know. How she, even though she probably does agree deep down with a lot of the others to just kill all the demons, she is so dedicated to her sister's wishes that she will pretty much put aside her own personal wants and wishes and just live by that accord, which is interesting. And obviously, the fact that now she is aware and has met Nezuko, this is like the first kind of spark she's ever seen that is like actually gives soundable proof to her sister's wishes actually becoming a reality, since this is a demon that doesn't want to hurt people. This is a demon that can coexist with humans, and, you know, that is probably like the first ever spec she's seen that could actually, you know, bring the future that her sister wanted to light. We know, and the master knows, that there are more people like that. You know, there is obviously our doctor girl and her assistant that don't actually, you know, harm humans in any way, but I am going to assume she doesn't actually know about either of them, so not really too much in the boat there, but if she does learn about them, that might actually help even more too. But yeah, that was really cool. That ending scene was great. I do love how we're already kind of focusing more and more on some of the Hashirai. That is great to see. Obviously, this girl is the mentor of the of the girl that's been kicking their asses so much, Kanao, which is fun. And yeah, we also, mostly this episode was a act of, you know, just training, getting back on our feet, and also showed the difference in the skill between, you know, our three main characters and Kanao, because she has directly been training with a Hashirai all along, and while obviously Tanjiro's got a lot of experience by now fighting blood demons with blood arts to them, the difference in skill there is insanely apparent. Like, she is actually just beyond, like, a tier, like, maybe 2 tiers beyond anything they've gone through so far. And yeah, obviously, they are still training, and they are still recovering, and she is in peak condition. But at the same time, it's like, no doubt the skill is apparent, even if Tanjiro does recover very soon. No doubt he won't be quite at that level yet. But this is still cool. Obviously, you know, it shows his dedication. It shows his willingness to keep going to fight. He has the biggest, he has the most, the biggest reason to want to fight in this, you know, compared to his allies right now, to help out Nezuko. So obviously it makes sense that he's going through all of this trial and error to become a stronger Demon Slayer. And the possibility of even mastering his concentrational breathing to the point that it becomes just his regular breathing, that would help. That would definitely help, I'm not gonna lie. And, I mean, honestly, if he masters that, compared to, like, what he's already doing right now, Season 2, possibly? He's already, like, could be a Hashira. I mean, he is the main character of a shonen, you know, that, that if anything would solidify that, it would probably be that. Although typically they don't actually achieve the highest rank for one reason or another, so maybe not. The Hashira already have a water, a guy with a water technique, so maybe if Jiyu dies, you know. Not that I want that to happen, but I mean, it is possible. None of the 9 have, you know, the same, like, concentrational ability, so who knows. But yeah, that was a fun episode. I'm curious how much more of the training we're going to do. Obviously now we've gone through a bit of a time skip, which was nice, and we know that Tanjiro's new sword is on the way. So, we'll see. But yeah, so guys, let's just keep going. Still got more to go. Episode 25. The penultimate episode of the season. So, let's do this. In 1 second. Alright, let's go.
Kyo-chan, Sumi-chan.
And yep, his fan club.
俺の修行の手伝いをしてほしい。俺が寝ている間、全集中の呼吸をやめたら、布団叩きでぶん殴ってくれないか。
Wow.
お願いします。
Honestly, the progress is insane. He's already doing it in his sleep. You didn't say how hard, to be fair.
もう一回お願いします。どうぞ。
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
今度こそ。
What kind of kinky shit is this, bro? But has the day finally come where you'll beat out this girl? Probably not. Well, definitely not.
ちゃんとあの子を終えてる。ついていけてる。
Yeah, obviously not. Let's go!
あとはこの大きいひょうたんだけですね。
Like, bro, come on. Can you not see the obscene difference now between you two and Tanjiro? Like, it's quite sad, honestly. Oh my god. Inosuke knows how to get comfy.
炭治郎、もう訓練に出たんだ。まだ夜明けたばかりだよ。
全集中の呼吸を四六時中やり続けることにより基礎体力が飛躍的に上がります。
That's worth it.
早速やってみましょう。
That is cool though. They're getting direct training from her.
かなり気合を入れないと、俺もまだ一日全集中の呼吸はできないけど、善逸と伊之助なら大丈夫。
It's definitely not easy, but
あとは死ぬ
like
ほ
I
ど
said, the
鍛える。
results will be worth it. 100%. So,
まあまあ、これは基本の技というか初歩的な技術なのでできて当然ですけれども、得得するには相当な努力が必要ですよね。
this is a beginner skill?
まあ できて当然ですけれども、仕方ないです。できないならしょうがないしょうがない。
当然になめるんじゃねえよ。父もぎ取るぞこら。
Whoa!
頑張ってください善逸くん。
That's an interesting spot to start with. It looks like a fucking double-sided coin.
"痛い。お腹が空いた。悲しい。虚しい。苦しい。そんな日々だった。ある日、プツンと音がして、
Oh, wow.
何も辛くなくなった。
Okay. What, you just mentally
何
break?
も辛くなくなった。貧しい暮らしの中、
It's like, yeah, you mentally
親
just
に売られた
snapped.
時でさえ悲しくはなかった。
Oh, that's
That's ちょっとよろしいですか？
that is just sad.
こんにちは。はじめまして。私は胡蝶かなえと言います。あなたのお名前は？
そいつにな。
Yeah, she's definitely mentally not all there.
もういいだろ。離れろや。
Oof.
姉さんに触らないでください。
Ooh.
こいつとおしゃべりしたきゃ金を払いな。
じゃあ買いますよ、この子。これで足ります？
Holy fuck. You did that right in front of everyone.
待ってくれ。
早く拾った方がいいですよ。
Yeah.
人も多いし、風も強いので。
ああ、いいのかしら。
いいの。
Well, that literally just happened. Okay, so she's like your sister then.
あらあら。
Literally just come up and clutched her like that. Like, that makes sense then why she's being trained by them. God, I can't imagine how much dirt is in that hair. And that much hair too.
言われないと何もできないの。食事もそうよ。食べなさいって言わなきゃずっと食べない。ずっとお腹を鳴らして。
あらあら。
こんなんでこの子どうするの？
まあまあ、そんなこと言わずに。姉さんは忍の笑った顔が好きだね。
Yeah, you can definitely see the influence she had on her personality now.
ダメよ。危ない。
まあ、そうなんだ。
Except with Big Sis, it's kind of sweet and compelling. With her, it's a mask and it's kind of just
ま
creepy.
あ、一人の時はこの効果を投げて決めたらいいわよ。きっかけさえあれば人の心は花開くから大丈夫。いつか好きな男の子でもできたらカナウだって変わるわよ。
もっとそこでバッとグッとグッと頑張れ善逸。その調子だ。
Well, don't fall for him, Jesus Christ. Talk about a bad pick. He's the main character.
おい、ハガですかさ
Dude, he is not happy to see you.
ー。
お元気ですとこ。
I know he wouldn't be happy. I didn't think he'd try and cut you up, though.
よくもおったな、俺の刀を。よけろよけろ。
すいません。
Takes pride in his work.
俺も死にそうだったし、相手もすごく強くて。
違うな、関係あるもんか。お前が悪い、全部お前
Wow.
のせい。殺してや。
Oh my god.
新しい訓練でしょうか。
No, he genuinely wants him dead.
アイネズ色が鈍く光る渋い色だ。刀らしいいい色だ。
よかったな。伊之助の刀はこぼれひどかったから。
握り心地はどうでしょうか。実は私、二刀流の方に刀を作るのが初めてでして。伊之助殿。お？ん
？Trying to test him on a particularly hard rock. Oh. Oh no, he's just chipping them away because that's what he likes. Wow. Bro, it's his style. Oh my god. I mean, the heart wants what the heart wants. You can't argue with that. If it gets results, that's that.
すごく頑張っていたもん。
早く刀を振りたい。この手で日輪刀を。
Nice.
やったー！いやー、気を緩めるな。いけるぞ。抜けた。この薬臭いよ。かけたらかわいそうだよ。
Oh my god. Oh my. Yeah. Even she's like, what just happened? Like, genuinely, what the fuck just happened?
顎は問題なさそうですね。はい、口を閉じてください。診察は以上です。
Cool.
体はもう大丈夫ですから、安心して任務に邁進してください。
日の神神楽って聞いたことはありますか？
ありません。
じゃあ火の呼吸とか
ありません。
実は俺の子供の頃の話になるんですが。
なるほど。なぜかかまどくんのお父さんは火の呼吸を使っていた。私でわかることは炎の呼吸はありますが、火の呼吸ではないということ。
Well, that ain't confusing at all.
私も司祭はわからない。
I mean, there is literally a flame Hashirai, so of course.
ただ、そのあたりの呼び方について厳しいのですよ。炎の呼吸を火の呼吸と呼んではならない。縁柱の煉獄さんなら知っていることがあるかもしれませんが、あいにく任務に出ていますし。
わかりました。
Flame breathing must never be referred to as fire breathing.
次に煉
Interesting.
獄さんと会う時があったら聞いてみます。
Well. Okay. Well, that's something. What a freaky face, this guy. Perhaps the most freaky we've seen so far of a demon. It's funny now. We're introducing the train, and I think the movie is called something Train. I think so. That's kind of funny and kind of interesting since we actually still have another episode to go. Unless you want to add this episode and like the entire movie is in like this setting, that'd be kind of funny. But yeah, so that was episode 25 of Demon Slayer. Very interesting. So now we've kind of set up a bit of a mystery between the fire breathing that Daddy used and the flame breathing technique that the 12th guy, why am I saying the 12th? The Rengoku or Kyojuro. One of them. I don't know if I'm better at saying either one of those, honestly. But Flame Guy might have the answers to what the difference is between these two techniques, and the fact we don't know anything about flame breathing so far means we can't really draw any kind of parallels between the two. But apparently it's like almost forbidden in a sense to actually refer to flame breathing as fire breathing, which is interesting. I mean, we know Tanjiro is capable of using fire breathing right now because he did use it, you know, in episode 19. But that'll be interesting. I wonder if that's like the hierarchy of flame breathing, like the ultimate technique or something. Or if it's just like something detached from it completely, but from a similar kind of source, you know? Huh. That's definitely something to consider going forward, and obviously something that will be brought up when our flame guy actually comes up, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, mostly another episode of just, of us just kind of, you know, go through the motions, getting better, and actually helping out, you know? Well, not helping out, but, training, getting better, and of course, learning about more stuff, because we actually got the girl's backstory. We got Kanao's backstory right here, which is interesting. Man, is there anyone in this corporation that just didn't suffer? Like, obviously, Inosuke didn't really suffer. That, you know, he did suffer in his life, but his pain is not what brought him to the Demon Slayers. You know, but this girl, I mean, fuck me, literally, she just mentally snapped to the point to where she could not do. Man, interrupted twice. Both in the outros. I don't think this ever happened before. Anyway, I think I was talking about Kanao's backstory. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? Is there anyone in this corpse that did not suffer a tragic backstory before entering? Like, honestly. Now, to be fair, some of them don't necessarily come in because of a backstory, but they have suffered prior to this, you know. Inosuke, I mean, was literally thrown off a cliff by his mother. Jesus Christ, you know. Zenitsu. Actually, what was Zenitsu's backstory? You know, he was trained up by Gramps, you know, his mentor, but did they say anything before that? I'll have to look back on episode 17 for that one. You know, but pretty much everyone, you know, and in her case, it is like a sense of, yeah, her family was poor, you know, they had nothing to use, and she was literally discarded completely, until one day she just snapped. Completely just disengaged entirely with her entire, like, with just herself as a person, lost all sense of her emotions within her, and pretty much just accepted anything and everything without feeling anything for any of it. That's pretty hard. And to the point where she even getting sold by her parents did not do anything. She was literally broken to the point to where she could not feel at all. Which is pretty insane. That is honestly... that's hardcore. That is very tragic. You know, the selling sounds very illegal as well. But to the note of that, it does seem like things are getting a little bit better. You know, it does seem like she can make some choices on her own now. You know, she was so bad back then that she literally had to be told to do anything and everything. You know, and nowadays, I mean, at the very least, she doesn't really communicate too verbally with people. We have seen her speaking, you know, we do see that she is capable of speech. She is, you know, capable of asking questions and talking to people. I think actually the only one we actually saw her speak to is Nezuko, which is fucking hilarious. But, you know, well, I don't doubt she has got better over time. It does seem like she's still very much disconnected from her own personal interests and feelings, and yeah, that's definitely a starting point as a character to see that, you know, grow. And I'm curious if Tanjiro is going to be the one to actually do that. Obviously, he plays the role of just the lovable heart of gold MC that can pretty much get any woman he wants. And so I'm curious if we're gonna go in that direction. Like, the more she interacts with Tanjiro, the more that she starts to, express feelings again, start feeling things beyond, you know, just the melancholy, like, just bored persona she's kind of had this whole time. Which would be cool. It would be interesting. She actually still has the coin, which is cool. Because, yeah, I think every other time we've actually seen this, she is still actually incapable of making her own choices, which would explain episode 23 when the girl asked her if they could enter the mansion. She couldn't respond to her, and that's because she couldn't figure out a decision to make on her own in that regard. So, unfortunately, it still kind of seems like she is just kind of following orders completely on her own. You know, she's a capable person, but she just can't really decide anything for herself, and that is where the coin comes in, which is cool. So, obviously, it's going to be a lot. It's probably going to take quite a while But hopefully we do get to end up seeing her, you know, slowly but surely make her own choices. Which would also, by contrast, mean she's going to be possibly one of the main characters. Or at least someone who comes in so often that she might as well be a main character, you know. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting backstory for her for sure. Obviously, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. At this point, it just seems like it's the norm, so it's not really a shock or anything, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely intriguing just seeing how they differentiate the backstories with certain characters. It was also cool to see a younger Shinobu. As you can see, by contrast today, she has taken a lot of the characteristics of her sister and integrated them into the person that she is now. Now, a lot of it does seem like it is supplemental, it does seem like it is fake, but she does do a pretty good imitation on trying to be her sister, but the contrast that the backstory shows is very clear as day. She is very emotional deep down, she does seem to get frustrated quite easily, not just at demons, but by a lot of things, and she honestly was ready to give up on Kanao, which, thanks to Sissy, did not happen. So I guess, yeah, in a way, she is kind of her sister then. She's like the adopted sister that they both really cared for, which is cool. That adds another layer on those two. So I'd be curious to see those two interact going forward in the future as well. But, yeah, that was really, you know, that's definitely upsetting. But it is a character I am looking forward to seeing in the future, of course. Bros got their swords back, which was great. Fucking Inosuke. I get it. He has a sword style he likes. He has a particular type of blade that he likes to use as well. But I do feel bad for that poor smith because, well, they take pride in their weapons, and to see them so unceremoniously broken. Unironically, that was one of the best scenes of the fucking episode. Like, that was actually hilarious. Inosuke. Oh my god. Bro has no care what others think of him or his techniques at all. But it works out in the end anyway, because he's Inosuke, you know? And that's all we got to really say about that. But yeah. You know, honestly, thinking about it a little more now, I'm curious if we're actually not going to even get Tanjiro in the next episode. Because, you know, Rengyoku, he left for a mission, and now we're seeing this train incident. So I'm curious if this next episode is going to be the first one we get where it's not Tanjiro based at all, and it's just we're seeing this Hashirai as the main character, and we'll see him on this train hunting and taking on this demon. Because, you know, these last two episodes have focused a lot on Shinobu and Kanao, so I'm wondering if the final one will continue that trend and we'll actually end up spending like an entire episode on our Flame Boy. And we'll see how he takes on the mission. We'll see maybe some backstory for him from an inner monologue or something. And we'll do it like that. You know, because you're already on a train, so it feels like the groundwork's already been set up. But Tanjiro and whatnot are not quite at the point of actually getting there yet. So, yeah. That's kind of what I'm predicting for episode 26. This is, of course, the season finale of Demon Slayer. Which is, pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yes, guys, here we go. So, season finale of Demon Slayer will commence in 3. I will watch the intro this time. 3, 2, 1, and play. Alright, so I guess we won't go one episode without seeing Tanjiro. Oh. Crap. Yeah. Okay, it's great to see they're actually taking the training seriously now and are mastering the total concentration. Oh wow, new mission. Basic. Lower 6. Yeah, what on that? What the hell? What, are we in the Millennium Puzzle or something? What the hell? What is this, the mirror dimension? Like, lower 2?
こんなことは初めてだぞ。加減の語はまだ来てない。
Yeah.
移動した。また血気術。なんだこの女は。
Why are you like a female Muzan? Literally.
誰だ。
平服せよ。
I would advise doing just that.
無惨様だ。無惨様の声、わからなかった。
Huh.
姿も気配も以前と違う。
I guess that's another...
凄まじい。
That helps in getting around then.
申し訳ございません。お姿も気配も異な
If
っ
he
てい
can
ました
fucking
ので。
shape shift on top of everything else.
何故に加減の鬼はそれほどまで弱いのか。
Oof.
12気づきに数えられたからといって終わりではな
Yeah,
い。
you should aim to all be
そこ
number
から始
one.
まりだ。より人を喰らい、より強くなり、私の役に立つための始まり。ここ100年余り、12気づきの上限は顔ぶれが変わらない。
Jesus, that is
鬼狩りの柱
insane.
どもを葬ってきたのは常に上限の鬼たちだ。そんなことを俺たちに言われても
He can read faults as well.
なんだ、言ってみろ。
読めるのか。
Holy crap.
まずい。
何がまずい。言ってみろ。
Oh, this guy is insane.
どうかおじきを。
Honestly, it's better for you to just voice your faults now.
申し訳ありません。
You would have had a better fate if you just said what you thought.
なんでこんなことに。思考は読まれ、肯定しても否定しても殺される。戦って勝てるはずもない。
Honestly, as well, I love his female design.
逃げるしか。
That was literally the stupidest thing you could have done. You are within a space controlled by one of the
な
Kizuki.
んとか逃げ切れ。なんとかこれだけ離れれば。
もはや12気づきは上限のみで良いと思っている。
Oh my god.
加減の鬼は解体する。
Oh shit.
やられている。
That's bad.
どうしてみせます。より強力な鬼となり戦います。
なぜ私がお前の指図で血を与えねばならんのだ。
違います違います。私は。
黙れ。何も違わない。
Oof.
私は何も間違えない。お前は私に指図した。死に値する。
But are you going to? God.
最後に言い残す
Okay.
ことは。
God, the art on the blood though is spectacular. I love how much detail they put into the blood. As well, it's like kind of edgy. Blood is like some of my favorite thing to see in animation.
そうですね。あなた様直々に手を下していただけること。
Wow.
他の鬼の断末魔を聞けて楽しかった。幸せでした。
Okay.
私を最後まで残してくださってありがとう。
Bro, what the hell? Even Muzan's like, okay. And of course, you got more blood.
気に入った。私の血をふんだんに分けてやろう。ただしお前は血の量に耐えきれず死ぬかもしれない。鬼狩りの柱を殺せ。
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, they got a promise to kill a Hashirai. That's how they get useful to him.
飾りをつけた鬼狩りを殺せばもっと血を分けて。
Well, that ain't happening. Holy crap. That power is broken. My god, we've seen some OP abilities from the demons.
なんだ。
That was just broken though. Holy
無惨
crap.
様の血とともに流れ込んでくる。
無限列車の被害拡大。40名以上が行く。
I think that actually is the name of the movie, Mugen Train or something.
直ちに西へ向かえ。
Because I've seen the name of the film before. This whole episode is just like a prelude to the film.
無限列車の任務には炭治郎たちに行ってもらうことに
Yeah,
した
the
よ。
Mugen train.
忍が炭治郎を推薦した理由を聞いてもいいかい？
かまどくんはまっすぐで努力し積み重ねることができます。それによる伸びしろは期待以上のものでした。そして何より彼には鬼物児を倒すというはっきりとした目的があ
That's
り
the
ます。
goal the Demon Slayer
そ
should
れについ
strive
ては
for.
私も同じ意見だ。
あとかまどくんのお父さんが火の呼吸を使っていたと本人から聞きました。
ほう。
Ooh.
現状ではまだ力不足であることは否めませんが、縁柱の煉獄さんなら何かしら導いてくれるのではないでしょうか。
そうだね。鬼になっても人を食わない妹の。
And that is interesting because the Flame guy, he was one of the people that was opposed to letting Nezuko live.
星の元に生まれた子なのかもしれない。
No way. Is he here? Is it actually this guy? Are we literally just... Okay, no, this guy's huge. No, it is this guy.
今の人は
Yeah, we're literally just showing him out of nowhere. Okay. Talk about a growth spurt.
短期間ですごく体格に恵まれている。
そうですか。もう行かれる。短い間でしたが、同じ時を共有できてよかったです。
Man, you are always just plastered with a scowl.
お気をつけて。
忙しい中、俺たちの面倒を見てくれて本当にありがとう。おかげでまた戦いに行けるよ。
お礼など結構です。選別でも運よく生き残っただけ。その後は恐ろしくて戦いに行けなくなった腰抜けなので。
俺を手助けしてくれた葵さんはも
葵
う俺の一部だから。葵さんの思いは俺が戦いの場に持っていくし。
Oh my god, dude. Are you really fucking trying to become a harem protagonist? You're gonna make every girl fall for you. Because like every girl in anime falls for like the most basic compliments ever.
あ、いたいた。カナー。俺たち出発するよ。いろいろありがとう。
Yeah, has she ever said anything to you?
師範の指示に従っただけなので。
Wow.
お礼を言われる筋合いはないから。さようなら。
喋ってくれた。
I know, first time.
今投げたのは何？
さようなら。
お金？表と裏って書いてあるね。なんで投げたの？
さようなら。
You will literally not hit anything else.
指示されてないことはこれを投げて決める。
Huh.
今あなたと話すか話さないか決めた。さよなら。
You didn't want to speak to him because a coin flip is heads 90% of the
どうで
time.
もいいの。全部どうでもいいから自分で決められないの。
この世にどうでもいいことなんてないと思うよ。よし、投げて決めよう。
何を？
カナオがこれから自分の心の声をよく聞くこと。高く飛ばしすぎた。表にしよう。表が出たらカナオは心のままに生きる。あれ、どこ行った？あれか。取れた。カナオ。
That was a very legendary coin toss though, honestly. I'll give you praise for that.
カナオ。
どっちだろう。落ちた瞬間が背中で見えなかった。
Hey!
カナオ。人は心が原動力
Damn.
だから。
Look at you, like, making motions and expressions. How dare you? Oh my god. Does bro even realize how many girls he's rizzed up already?
投げる手元は見てた。小細工はしてなかったはず。
偶然だよ。
He's too innocent to cheat.
裏が出ても表が出るまで何度でも投げ続けようと思ってたから。
Wow.
元気で。
Well, she fell. That is not even disputable at this point. It's honestly bizarre seeing Inosuke outside of the mask. Wow. Hey! Finally.
はい。全集中、常駐はできるようになったみたいだな。はい。続けるといい。はい。
It's not very good at complimenting, but he's trying.
禰豆子のことありがとうございました。命をかけてくれてただなんて俺知らなくて、どう感謝を伝えたらいいのか。
礼なら仕事で返せばいい。俺たち鬼殺隊の使命は。
And maybe one day you'll collaborate in a mission. That's another technique to master, like light speed travel. Wow. Wow. What the hell is this contraption? Bro's never seen a train. Oh, bro's lived in the wild all his life. Bro, the fact that Zenitsu isn't peeing himself right now means it's harmless. Wait, does he not know what a train is either? Oh my god, because bro lived in the village, he has no idea what a train is. Oh my god! That is so good! Dude, Inosuke makes sense. Fucking Tanjiro not knowing what a train is even better. Nezuko!
俺と禰豆子はどこへ行く時も一緒だ。もう離れたりしない。
Well, I wouldn't count on that entirely, but good mindset. And of course, no OP or ED in this one. Yeah, I don't know why I always fall for that in series. Oh my god, we're just having a clip show. And there he is. Yeah, next time though, we're going to be getting a new OP. I guess they might still play it in the movie though, so we might hear it one more time. Okay. So I'm going to assume most of this was build up for the film, of course. Interestingly, we do have one episode to watch before that, because apparently, like, it's weird. Like, apparently they animated this storyline twice, I think. Like, once as a movie, and once as, like, an official episode count to Season 2. So, the way I'm doing it, Season 2 will be 11 episodes, and this movie will be, I'm reacting to the movie itself. But I am, in that movie reaction, I'm also reacting to the official episode 1 of Season 2, because apparently that is still important. So I'm assuming the next 6 episodes are all from, like, the movie itself, and episode 1 is, like, a little extra you need. So that's how the movie is going to be. It'll be episode 1 of Season 2 by the count, and then the movie. But I'm probably just going to title it the movie, because then I'm going to title it, like, episode 1 to 11 of Season 2, and it's going to be weird. Yeah, because outside, like, solely, aside from like solely recap movies, I don't think I've ever seen a show do 2 adaptations for the same content, which is very weird. Because like yeah, I think like they animated the movie plotline twice. So I don't know. I got really confused on the I got really confused when the sets were being made for this show, because it was like, what is actually going on here? It was confusing. It was confusingly worded, but yeah. Next will be a movie with an episode before that. So you know, next time will be that. But yeah, so taking things in drastic directions. Why was Muzan a chick in this? I don't have a goddamn clue. I guess just because he was feeling a bit fruity that day. I genuinely have no idea. The fact that he can actually change forms, though, would add to the to the reason why the Demon Slayers just can't find him, like, ever, because he's always in a new form. That would make sense, and that, you know, that is a cool ability, like I said. We know, obviously, shapeshifting's not out of the question, because, you know, Nezuko can do that, but I guess, yeah, outright, like, body switching between genders is, like, I guess an even evolved form of that, which, I mean, maybe one day Nezuko will do? I don't know. They spent this whole season building Nezuko, and now pretty much everyone who went in contact with her said, like, something has happened to Nezuko that even Muzan himself was not expecting. Which is interesting. I'm going to assume it does have to do with the Tanjiro family bloodline. Because, you know, there are some connections to that bloodline with Muzan in the past, and, you know, whether there is actually, like, whether there's, like, some actual, like, if the family bloodline goes back that far, and it is, like, there's some relation between Muzan and this family, or if it is solely just because of, like, the guy that fucked up Muzan in the past, or whatever, with the red sword. I'm not sure, but they are still building something up with Nezuko. And obviously, despite the fact that she had very minimal screen time and involvement in the season, I do want to see her going forward, and I would love to see if she got any kind of screen time and possibly power-ups in the movie. Because that is another thing, is that while a lot of the times anime movies are solely made for entertainment purposes and they're not really acknowledged, like the My Hero Academia films, for example, are not really acknowledged in the show at all. You know, because this was animated like twice, one is like the movie and one is like part of the official season 2. I do assume this movie is full-on canon, and the fact that we're already bringing in a member of the Hashira anyway, you know, pretty much solidifies that. But I am assuming this movie is 100% canon and will be referenced going forward into like season 2, 3, 4, whatever, however much more Demon Slayer is going to be adapted to. But yeah, that was cool. And so Muzan now is kind of like just chipping away at the elites, because what do you say? The upper half of the Kizuki for the last century have not changed whatsoever, and we learned that we've learned that I think all of the Hashirai, it was said, all of them have actually met and slain Kizuki, which means that none of them have ever met the top 6 before, and it's always just been lower half. So that's kind of crazy, and it now means that we now only have 6 to go, which is crazy. I guess this extra guy is kind of on like a probational period, it seems, but he's more than likely dying in the movie anyway, so I almost don't even want to count him, because it's obvious he's going to die very, very soon. Or it could be the antagonist for the whole of season 2, I don't know. That'd also be a possibility. But yeah, so that is kind of crazy, actually. Like, unironically, like, the fact Muzan just, like, literally halved the elites and killed the others is insane. But it also guarantees going forward that when we do run into a Kizuki member, it's gonna be fucking nuts, because like these are like the big boys that have been useful for over a century at this point. They've never failed in their missions. They've never really, you know, been slain by demon slayers, or they've probably slain so many demon slayers at this point that people don't even want to fight them. So that's going to be really cool. Very interesting to see, considering how one of the lower 5, how hard he was to fight in this show, you know. And I'm really excited. I'm really intrigued to see where that is going to go. But yeah, it was really cool. I did really like this arc. You know, I did enjoy seeing some of the 12 members, or some of the, I keep doing that, some of the members of the Hashirai, which is really fun. Butterfly girl was really cool to see. I know I'll get the name eventually, but Shinobu. Shinobu was very fun to see. I really do like her. Her apprentice slash like younger sister girl, you know, Kanao was really fun to see as well. Obviously, at this moment in time, they seem like the most important of the Hashirai that are going to come up. Obviously, Jiu is one, but he's very, you know, distant. Apparently, not many people like him. He's not very social, you know. So I assume he's still gonna be around, but he's not gonna come up as much as, you know, probably Kanoi and Shinobu will in the future, you know. And obviously, like Tanjiro started to bring up that main character Riz, so it's like, you know, from now on, you're gonna start listening to your heart. You're gonna start, you know, being around more people and whatnot, and even if I lost this bet, I was gonna do it again and again until it worked. So it's like, yeah, he's pulling out that MC Riz on the girl, you know, and it seemed like it actually worked because at the end there, her eyes actually had some color to them, implying that she felt something. She did feel something, and it's also kind of in a way like self-hypnosis, I feel like, because if you've been brought up so much to the point to where you're so dependent on this coin to make a choice, that it's very easy to just break it, because the coin also decides like how you break out of it, right? I wonder actually if this is a reference in a way to Two-Face, because, you know, it's a pretty he's a pretty popular character, you know, in Batman's arsenal. So I almost wonder if like the coin flip thing is a reference to Two-Face. Maybe not, but it stuck out so much because I did recently do the Batman animated series, so I do get those vibes. But yeah, that is pretty interesting. And of course, the next time we do see this girl, I'm really curious to see if there are any kind of personality changes. You know, I don't assume it's going to happen for a little while now, but I would be interested to see, you know, if she truly does turn a new leaf and is not dependent on the coin anymore, or at least only uses the coin for like the very difficult choices, like the morally like gray area choices. I'm wondering if she'll use it for those, but you know, she's starting to try to genuinely just kind of live as a person more and more, you know, which would be really cool to see. But yeah, obviously that's pretty fun. I mean, Tanjiro kind of like risen up all those girls in that goddamn headquarters slot. Like, Jesus Christ, that was hilarious, but to be expected of RMC. And yeah, we're moving right along now, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for the movie, I cannot lie. Like I said, I did enjoy season 1. You know, it's not like my favorite thing or anything, but I will admit, I can see and appreciate the effort they put into this season, because, you know, if there is one thing I know about Demon Slayer, is that the animation and the fight choreography is great. It is like the main thing people praise when going into this show, and that does make me hype, because while a lot of the time a first season can, you know, is created in that kind of way to, you know, demonstrate and build up a fan base who are not manga readers or anything, you know, I've seen it where some season 2s, you know, their animation quality, they drop, you know, unfortunately. While I do love this show, One Punch Man is very much subjugated to that condition right there. And it sometimes it is honestly a little discouraging, a little upsetting, but I mean, sometimes it honestly just can't be helped. But Demon Slayer, I believe, is a show where the animation quality is consistent all throughout, and that is great, because I love how this show is animated. I love how they actually animate some of the techniques, like the water, lightning, fire, you know, techniques from like the swords and the fight and the action choreography. Like, that is beautiful, you know, because episode 19 is like one of the most beautiful shots the show has ever had before in that shot, which is great. I love how the show animates blood. I think the blood looks incredible and amazing. The designs are really fun as well. Like the spider demons are still my favorite so far. But I do love I love both of Muzan's designs. Fucking Michael Jackson look-alike. Like, it's so cool. And, you know, I know they're demons, but I am a big fan of vampires, and they're like, you know, gothic, edgy aesthetic. So I really appreciate how Muzan looks straight up like a vampire. I really do like vampires. I do admit that. But yeah, I'm excited to go forward. I hope you guys are as well. The first season of Demon Slayer, really good stuff, really consistent stuff, you know. I'm honestly excited. I don't think I really dislike any of the characters. I feel like I'm very biased towards it, but my favorite so far is Inosuke, and I know he's like had like the least amount of screen time. Tanjiro's fine as well, but genuinely I don't necessarily end up liking like the complete like optimistic, pure of heart, like good, like true hero type. They're not typically my favorite in terms of like you know, stereotypes of characters, but I still like him. He's still fun. He's still cool. Zenitsu. I feel like that's just what I've got to say about Zenitsu. He's fucking Zenitsu. But Inosuke, he's my guy. He's my guy. I'm really excited to see him going forward, especially given how just how unused he is to fucking technology, and that goes for Tanjiro as well. Oh, these boys. But yeah, guys, next time we are doing the movie. I do believe it's actually legit just called Mugen Train. I'm actually gonna look that up. What is this? Yeah, the movie Mugen Train. So straight up, we're just going into that. So guys, that'll be our next set of Demon Slayer. Hope you're excited for the movie. I am, and I'll see you guys next time.